Okay, the recording started. I will mute the all the students, and today's topic is not so tough. I will just go. I will just go. So I'm muting everyone. I will discuss just 20 minutes. So I think that it will help to to
Okay.
unmute it. We need to mute everyone. Everyone is muted now. Okay. uh, the topic is not so tough. Please write your role in the chat box. The topic is not so tough. I can easily give you these slides and can easily read, but still just the discussion, because these are the very basic things. So we just need to discuss, uh, so that the students do not feel any problem when they study by yours himself. uh, okay. So the today topic is the boiler mountings and boiler accessories. In the last previous classes that we have studied this steam power plant. The steam power plant, one of the most important component of the steam power plant is steam boiler. You know, we discussed. If you have attended the class or see the lecture, you will understand that steam boiler is one of the important parts where we take water, we give heat, and we get steam. Okay, steam, that the gaseous state of water. So we said that there are main four components, that is boiler, turbine, condenser, and pump in the steam power plant. But those four components are not enough. There are many components to run the steam power plant properly. So today we will see some of the important component to run the steam boiler. Boiler is the place, a closed vessel, where we put water by pump and we give the heat. We discussed the different types of boiler in the last class also. We give the heat and we make steam, the gaseous state. Okay. So the ice, water, steam. Steam is the gaseous state. So today we will discuss that there are several components to run that boiler properly. Okay. So all the components we divided into two categories. We divided into two categories. One is mountings, one is accessories. So before going there, just give a small difference, sir. What are the mountings, what are the accessories? Mount means, to get connected together, to get connected together directly. You see wall mount for TV, for television, the LED television wall mount, that means, directly connected to the wall. So the mountings are those components that are directly connected in the boiler, inside the boiler or outside the boiler, but directly touched connected. Those are mountings. And the accessories are those components, those are not directly connected but are indirectly connected and helping the boiler to run properly. I hope you understand. Mountings is directly connected, either inside or outside, but directly. And accessories are indirectly connected to run the both the things are to run the boiler properly. So let's start with boiler mountings. The first thing is that water level indicator. The first thing, the water level indicator. So we all know that, sir, water level indicator is basically gives the what is the current level of water inside a vessel. So we also need to know that, because in the boiler, when the boiler we establish, we also need to know that what is the current level of water, because when the water level is very low, we need to pump the water to the boiler to refill. So definitely this water level boiler is a very important component for boiler to run, because to refill at a perfect time repeatedly, we need this water level indicator, which will indicate that what is the current water level inside the boiler. So definitely this is a mountings. As I said, it is directly connected inside or outside. This water level indicator should have been established inside the boiler, because without inside the boiler it cannot detect the water level. That's why the water level boiler is a mountings. I hope you understand. The next is safety valve. Okay, I'm just going in a very rush way because of, we have very time shortage limit, and I have also one classes, and I have already wasted maximum times. Safety valve is, you saw pressure cooker. I believe that you saw pressure cooker where we give the rice, and this helps us to cook very fast. And after sometimes going, there is a small valve which opens and makes a sound like that means gas the gas inside or steam inside is releasing that, using that valve. So this is a safety valve for pressure cooker, because when it is closed and we are giving heat using our oven, so there are huge steam inside the pressure cooker. So at that time, when it exceeds the safety limit, at that time the safety valve opens and passes the excess steam from the pressure cooker. So it is also same. The safety valve is also same like the pressure cooker. It is situated just inside the the boiler. So when the steam, because when we give heat, the water takes heat and makes the steam. But when suppose the steam level, the amount of steam is so much, now because of so much steam, the pressure inside the boiler, it can explode the boiler, or the destroy can happen inside the boiler. At that time the safety valve opens and passes the extra steam that is not safe for that boiler at that time. So the safety valve is basically, the that valve, when it exceeds the limit of steam, it uh, just passes the extra steam to make the boiler run perfectly. So you can see that this safety valve should have been situated inside the boiler, because if it is not inside the boiler, it cannot sense the limit or the amount of steam available in the inside. That's why it is mountings, boiler mountings, not accessories. I hope you understand. The next thing is that fusible plug. It is also very interesting thing. Suppose uh, uh, it is also very interesting thing. It is basically, suppose when the amount of heat is very, so much, when the amount of heat is so much, and also there is water level, low water level sometimes, at that time these fusible plugs sense the temperature, because when the amount of heat is so much inside the boiler, at that time, this overheating can damage the boiler. So at that time this fusible plug takes some actions takes some actions to make the water level high. Suppose it can give the a signal, or it can, it can give a signal to the pump, so that it automatically pumps and refill the boiler, and the overheating issue is left. So basically fusible plug is a mechanical device that is basically used for detecting the low water level and the overheating condition, that helps to maintain, not to be so overheated the boiler. So it basically protect the boiler against the damage due to overheating, and also for low water level, because when the overheating becomes so high, the fire can, the fire can happen. So it just put off the the furnace, because when the furnace is the place where the combustion happens. So it just put off the fire, so the overheating is reduced, and also the low water level, uh, at that time the pump used to give water to make the water level high. So it should also be, situated inside the boiler. The pressure gauge, the pressure gauge, we all know that. What does gauge mean? Gauge is a meter. Gauge is a meter. Okay, so the pressure gauge is basically used to measure the pressure of steam inside the boiler. inside the boiler, what is the current pressure of that boiler. To measure that, we use pressure gauge, and definitely you can know that, or you can understand that the pressure gauge, it should be established inside the boiler, because without inside it cannot measure the pressure. So that's why it is also a boiler mountings. Next is steam stop bulb or junction bulb. This bulb is basically, steam stop bulb. You can understand the from the name. It is basically used to control the flow of steam from the boiler to turbine. We all know that the after steam turbine, after boiler, the next is steam turbine. Okay, so uh, you know that when the amount of steam is required less, suppose that now the load is the demand is less, so we need to spend, or we need to send less amount of steam to the turbine. Suppose when we need maximum amount of steam, so at that time we need so much amount of steam in the boiler, sorry, in the turbine from the boiler. So basically this steam stop bulb is just the regulator. It regulates that how much steam now required or should have, transfer from boiler to, suppose, the turbine. Okay, and still steam stop bulb, stop means now we need to stop the steam turbine, so at that time also we need to just stop the supply of steam. So to supply of steam, or to turn off the steam turbine, it is also used the steam stop valve. The blow off cock, it is basically a bulb, just the bottom of the boiler, just the bottom of the boiler. It is just the used for, for to discharge the water, suppose for the maintenance, for maintenance. Okay, suppose for maintenance, to we need to, discharge all amount of water from the boiler. So it is basically used for cleaning or maintenance or inspection to repair, because when it is the boiler needs to repair, we need to discharge all amount of water. So we use this valve, we open this valve and all the water discharged from the boiler, and we use cleaning or inspection everything using this bulb. And last but not the least, the feed check bulb. Feed check bulb is basically used uh, in the middle of pump and boiler. Okay, in the middle of pump and boiler. Let me open one more slide so you can understand. I think you can see this one, that pump and boiler. So basically the pump gives water to the boiler. Okay, so you know that the pump of the boiler is always situated in the upside. So that's why when the water flow, the bulb is something like that. The bulb is in the between of pump and boiler. So it is a one-way bulb. One-way bulb. It only opens when the water comes from pump to boiler. So in this direction, when the water gives the pressure, the bulb opens like this. Bulb opens and water enters inside the boiler. Okay, but it is a one-way bulb. It is a one-way bulb. But when the water from the boiler tries to go back to pump, this valve becomes closed. So it will always remain like that. So when it always protects the water from not going from boiler to pump. It only opens when the water comes from pump to boiler. So it doesn't allow the water to go from boiler to pump. So basically it's a one-way bulb. It only opens in the upside. So there is never open in the downside. So at that time, that's why it cannot gives the water, or it cannot allow the water to flow from boiler to pump again. So when the water tries to flow, the valve automatically close, and that it does not allow. Hope you understand my very ugly drawing. Okay, let's get back to the things again. So that was the mountings, these everythings are connected, directly connected inside the boiler. Now we will discuss some of the things that is accessories is not directly connected but indirectly connected and helps the boiler to run properly. The first one is feed pump. You know, we already know feed pump because feed pump pumps the water to the boiler. So it is not exactly directly connected. That means not directly touched connected. It is indirectly connected. So it delivers water to the boiler. So it acts as accessory for the boiler. So, but it is still a very important component for the steam turbine. But the feed pump is a accessories for the boiler. Next is superheater. Superheater is a chamber. Okay, superheater is basically a chamber. We will learn in the next future classes. There are three types of steam. We all know that is steam, but there are basically three types of steam. One is wet steam, that is uh, uh, that is not fully steam. It has also amount of water. Then is the dry steam. The temperature of dry steam is 100 degrees Celsius, but superheated steam is the third stage where the temperature of the steam is much more than 100 degrees Celsius. So superheater is basically the chamber where we give heat, and the steam becomes superheated steam. Okay, so the superheater is basically produce the steam to the superheated steam and increases the temperature. And the question can come, sir, why we make the superheated steam, why we make the steam temperature so high? Okay, because superheated steam has the increased capacity due to the higher heat contact. Because you know that when the amount of heat is so high, that means the water atom or the steam atom, it gets the more kinetic energy. So they are moving here so fast. So when they have more kinetic energy, when they heat the steam turbine, it can work properly, it can work more efficiently. So that's why superheated steam is used. And also it raises the overall efficiency because it has much more moving energy. That's why the overall efficiency can be much more. And also when the superheated steam we make, there is no water element, there is no water particle inside that steam. So the turbine blade is made of material, in the metal. So when there is a water element in the with the metal, it can react and it can make the erosion. Okay, it can react and it can damage the turbine blade. But when we use the superheated steam, it it has no water element, so the turbine blades are safe. So and it becomes long lasting. So these are the benefits to use superheated steam. And we make superheated steam using superheater. So superheater is not directly inside the boiler but connected with the boiler to perform boiler efficiently. Third one is the economizer. Okay, economizer. And fourth one is the air preheater. Okay, so we discussed economizer first. Let me get back to that slide also. Economizer is a device, a chamber, extra chamber, which is economizer is a extra chamber which is situated here between the pump and boiler, between the pump and the boiler. Why? We all know that, sir, we use hot gas. We use hot gas to transfer steam from water to steam. But what happens? But what happens? Uh, for that, I'm just showing you one thing, then I will discuss. Suppose this one, okay, this one, you can see this is the water tube boiler. Suppose so, these are the gas, these are the hot gas. I think you can see from my drawing, these are the hot gas. But when it flows around the boiler, it takes the heat, but the boiler water cannot take the full heat. So this hot gas we need to transfer. We need to transfer to the air. But still that hot gas has huge amount of heat energy. But we used or we generated this heat by burning of fuel. So basically we are giving the fuel, but we are not getting the 100% heat inside the system, because we are leaving that hot gas or that heat, basically that heat energy, to the environment using chimney. So always we try to capture those heat inside our system. We capture those heat inside our system. So for that reason, the economizer is established. Economizer is established between the pump and boiler. So when the water is going from pump to boiler, when the water is going from pump to boiler, it goes within a chamber of economizer where that hot flue gas is flowing, and inside the water is also flowing. Okay, so we all know that from the water temperature is less, that hot gas temperature is so high, and we all know that the hot body transfer heat to the cold body. Okay, that hot body transfer heat to the cold body. So you know, the water, now the water temperature becomes high. So when the water temperature already becomes high, so when it goes to the boiler, when it goes to the boiler, it requires less fuel, because the water is already some amount of temperature it has already gained some amount of heat energy. Now we will require less fuel to make that water to steam. Okay, so economizer basically helps in this way. So let's get back to the our main slide. I'm just using this slide for the much more example. So you can see from that the economizer is a device used for heating the feed water by means of flue gas from the boiler before leaving the chimney, because it reduces the loss of heat. Because if we release those heat in the environment, we are losing that heat. So it reduces the consumption of fuel, because the water is already a certain amount of heat already it gained, so it requires a less amount of fuel, and it improves the boiler efficiency. Yes, because whatever the amount of fuel we are using more amount of heat inside the system, so less amount of heat is going outside the system. So that's why the overall efficiency is improved. I hope you understand. I'm in a hurry because I have the next class. Give me 1 minute. I'm just giving the another batch for waiting in the, just give me 1 minute. Okay, I have taken 4 minutes from them. The last topic is air preheater. Okay, air preheater is also like same economizer, like same. Okay, it is also using that hot flue gas, the hot flue gas, leaving that economizer. After that, we also try to use that amount of heat left after economizer. So it is installed between the economizer and the chimney. Economizer and the chimney. Okay, so what is the purpose? The purpose is something like that. So after economizer, that gas we should release using chimney. But before releasing using chimney, we know that in the boiler we know that in the boiler we use, suppose here suppose here in the furnace, in the boiler, we take air from outside, and burn fuel, make that air high temperature and become hot flue gas. Okay, so basically we are using the air from the outside, burning them and making them high temperature. But the air preheater is basically that component that before entering the boiler or that furnace, that air we're using at chamber, we are using a chamber that is air preheater. So that air passing that air preheater chamber And we know that the hot gas that is leaving for the chimney that has higher temperature, and the environment here has low temperature. So that temperature difference, the higher temperature gives the heat to that air, and that air gets more in a heat. So when it enters inside the furnace, it requires less amount of fuel to make a higher hot flue gas. So let's get back to our slide. So we say that the air preheated air gives higher furnace temperature, and it results in better combustion with less smoke, and it enables a low grade fuel to be burned with a less excess air. So basically the air we take in the furnace from the environment, suppose it has temperature of 20 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius. So when it passes the air preheater chamber, the temperature, suppose highs more 20 degrees Celsius. Now the air becomes 50 degrees Celsius. So when it will go to the chamber, it will require less amount of heat to make a hot flue gas. So that eventually is, we require now less amount of fuel to make that high hot flue gas. And basically we are using that amount of heat inside the system. Basically the overall efficiency is increasing. I think you understand. Probably that was the uh, side for us. We have already, wasted that amount of time. That's why, we did not get that amount of time, and I was in a hurry. So I am just stopping the share right now. Stopping the share right now. Today, how many students we have? Okay, I'm just muting all. I'm just unmuting all, so that just telling the last few sentences. The students, everyone is unmuted. Everyone is unmuted. I think that I was a bit hurry. You can understand from my lecture, but the lecture was not tough. I hope so.
Yes, sir. Understand.
Everyone?
Ji sir, ji sir.
I think you can understand from that lecture. So I will not take so many times because my already one more class is left. And please consider my first explanation. Okay, whatever I have said about the tuition fee, please consider that and deliver that message from your own side. And I have already recorded. I will give that all everything as soon as I finish that after that class. So I think that when you listen the class and see the lecture, you will understand more. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Okay.